So, Jude Alexander is a bug child from Tyrone with literary pretensions who writes poetry and flash fiction. She passes the time drinking unwise amounts of tea and tramping about the hillsides with Gilbert the Magnificent, who is a professional Cocker Spaniel. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Jude is reading Hope.
Thanks very much, Biddy and Raymond, first of all, for having us here this evening. It's great. This is partially a true story, though it's not my story, so I'll read it and see what you think. It was hard to believe that Peter would be 6 by now. 2 whole years had passed. Years of endless phone calls, form-filling and retelling her story. Of going around and around in circles under the soulless fluorescent lights and the blandly sympathetic looks that said, "Oh my God, oh you poor, poor woman. Oh, I'm so glad this is not happening to me." 24 months of fruitless searching up and down the country, boxes of flyers bumping around in the car amongst the debris of her life. The posters seemed to mock her. Hundreds of lifeless images of his laughing face looking back at her from the passenger seat, the seat where he should have been sitting. Sigrid's eyes stung as she stared down at the crumpled piece of paper. 2 years, 3 investigators, and every penny of her savings, all distilled down into 2 little words and a foreign phone number, scrawled out furtively on a dirty scrap. Hope was so fragile. If someone answered, what would she say? Would she even hear them over the pounding of her own heartbeat? And if they didn't, what then? The worn plastic phone sat on the desk, cord curled innocently around it like the tail of a sleeping dragon. Time seemed to stretch out impossibly as she dialed with shaking fingers and listened to the hollow silence on the line. Then, suddenly, click! A polished, polite voice rang in her ear, and her stomach sank. "The number you have dialed has not been recognised. Please check the number and try again." She replaced the receiver gently, staring at it unseeing as the numbness settled over her once more. Hope is such a fragile thing. Thank you very much.